Thank you for tuning in to episode 10 of Pop Off with James. Today we have Scarlett Bentley from season 3 of Sailing Yacht. If you want to watch the video version, it's on YouTube at Pop Off with James. And make sure you subscribe and like and watch another episode. Thanks for tuning in.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Not too bad. I love your lips. They're so nice.
I just got them completely dissolved and then refilled.
What? How was that process? Was that crazy or what?
It's pretty painful, but for me, it was so worth it just because I'd had it done for so many years that there was just like different types of filler in there, uneven. And so I was like telling this girl, I was like, I hate how they look. And she was like, oh girl, we just need to start fresh. And so we dissolved it. It took, I think, 3 rounds, and it's like, it feels like the injection times like 4.
Really?
And, yeah. Do you have yours done?
Yeah. And I can do Botox. Botox is like fine, right? But when the filler goes in, because it has like that popping sound, like, do you get that?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it so much.
Yeah. I know. It's, but the dissolving, and oh my God, once it all dissolved, I was like, oh, I forgot how small my lips used to be. I hated it because then you have to wait like a week and a half to get it back, but all good.
I literally saw this video on TikTok where this person got filler in their lip and it blocked an artery or something. And their whole face started going black because it wasn't getting blood. And then they had to get it like dissolved like really quickly, but they had to hit like that artery again. So that kind of made me scared. But I mean, I still do it. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah. I'm James, by the way.
Nice to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you. So let's just do like the opening because I always forget and I do it at the end and then it's just annoying to edit. So welcome everybody. I'm James Pike. Today we have Scarlett Bentley. You are my first guest from Below Deck Sailing. How's it going?
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being on my podcast. So how was being on Below Deck? Like, how was that?
It was a lot just because I think it made it so much more extreme for me because I went in like, halfway through the season. Overall, it was the best experience ever.
So how many episodes were you on? You were on like 6? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So did you watch the season after?
Prior.
Yeah, that, and did you watch the season that you were on?
Well, yeah, I watched the season I was on, and I watched like most of the episodes up until I came on, and then obviously like when I was on.
So did you see how like Ashley was all like, blah, 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 I think we can do it ourselves? And how did you feel about that?
I mean, they're both great at their jobs. They probably could have done it. It just would have been really hard. I think that, she just didn't want another girl around.
I know. And what is it about Gary? Like, everybody is just like so down for Gary.
I really genuinely think if you all met him in person, you were like around him in person, you would get it. Like, because just from watching like a season, I wouldn't have thought that I would be into him either. But then it's just like once you're around someone, you connect differently. And yeah. I don't know. He just reels you in.
So like you get on the boat, you're like bunking with Ashley, and then she starts telling you that like she likes Gary, but then you still kind of went for Gary. So how did that kind of like be awkward inside your bunk? I don't know.
I mean, there was tension from, I feel like the moment I stepped on the boat. So it was just kind of like, pick your poison, I guess. And for me, I like needed Gary in a lot of these moments because he just made everything so much better. Yeah. And then it was like Ashley was just kind of mad regardless. And so what can you do?
So if I was doing reality TV and I was going on and I kind of knew like that Daisy and Gary would be there, I would kind of want to go and be with Gary because it would make you like a main character. Do you think any of that kind of played into it? Like you wanted to be like a character?
For me, it was like genuinely Gary and we had just like an initial connection, and it was just so lighthearted and fun. And I went into it super open-minded. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was just excited to be a part of it and be there, and it just so happened that it was Gary.
And you were in quarantine for like the whole season, or?
No, I was just in quarantine for like 3 days.
I guess it's getting a little bit like looser because before it was like 2 weeks or something, I heard.
Yeah, no, I would thankfully, oh my God, I would have gone crazy.
So do you really think that there's something going on between Daisy and Gary?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Do you think they're just kind of like playing it up for the cameras?
I don't know, and I don't want to speak on their behalf.
Yeah.
So, but I think genuinely that they're just friends.
Yeah. Do you keep in touch with anybody from the show still, or?
Yeah, I do. I don't talk to anybody like every day, but I keep in touch with them here and there, just touch base. I watched a couple episodes with Kelsey and actually Gabby. And then Daisy and I will talk here and there, Gary and I, Colin and I, Barnaby, really everybody.
Nice. Do you still work in yachting, or?
I do. I don't do like overnight trips or overseas or anything, but I just work locally here in San Diego. So I'll do like day charters here and there. And then more of like, I'm getting more just back onto the marketing side of things instead of the actual charters.
What was like your early career? Like, what was your first job? Was it like McDonald's, or?
So my first job, like my first real job, or like younger?
I mean, like the first time you got a paycheck.
The first time I got a paycheck, because I'd been a gymnast like all growing up. And then when I was, I think in 10th grade, I started working where I used to do gymnastics as a gym coach.
Oh, cool. And like, what do you want to be?
I love marketing. I love content creation. I just love like branding and all of that in general. So I actually just launched my own marketing agency. So that's what I'm putting all of my time into now, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, and I saw that you have a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, so I have my podcast and YouTube channel, and that's like the SoCal Social. So that's also what my marketing agency is. It's SoCal Social. So it's just kind of all going hand in hand. So it's been a lot of fun so far, and there's a long road ahead.
So now that you've been on reality television, do you like hear things from behind the scenes? Like with Med, do you hear things like what's going on and you kind of know what's happening, or?
No, and I honestly don't keep up. I mean, I don't really watch TV or shows in general. I haven't seen anything, or I'm not in the loop on anything.
Did you have like a preconceived notion of anyone?
No, really, I didn't. I had seen like part of the prior season, but I hadn't watched it all the way through. There's a helicopter. Can you hear that?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if it was going to mess with the audio. But yeah, no, not really.
I have a game for you.
Ooh, I love
Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Oh God, I'm so tired today. Like, oh my God, it's my Friday today and I'm literally at my office. It's the end of the day. So
What do you do?
So right now I work with the Canadian provincial government, and like the COVID vaccines. So if somebody gets it outside of Canada, it gets sent to me, and I just like make sure that it's real and not fake. So.
Oh, wow.
Very official.
Very official.
So fuck, marry, kill. Gary, Barnaby, or Marcos?
Not this game again.
Oh, how original, right?
Yeah. We played this in the van ride one night. Wait, who are my options? Gary, Colin, and Marcos?
Gary, Barnaby, and Marcos.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like Barnaby, he wouldn't be like your obvious first pick, but he's got like a really good personality, and I think that kind of, I don't know, I think he's kind of handsome too.
I would say marry Barnaby, fuck Gary, kill Marcos.
Oh, why kill Marcos just because you have to kill somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I would totally marry Marcos because he would cook for you and you would always eat so well.
That is true. And he is an incredible chef. I don't know. I feel like Barnaby, he was great. He was such a fun personality to be around that I would like want that in my life forever.
Yeah, like I feel like he would always have the water sports and stuff like that.
Yeah, true. Which I love, so I'm down.
What was like the biggest surprise about being on a reality show that you weren't kind of prepared for?
Just how you really do have no personal space. I mean, everything you do, everything you say, a third party is hearing. And it was an adjustment for sure. So that was, I would say, probably the biggest shock, which I mean, I should have known. I just didn't realize the extent of it, but you get used to it pretty quickly.
Yeah, Kate said something about to go to sleep, you have to like wave your arms at the camera or something. Is that true?
Yeah. For like the light to go off.
Yeah, that's crazy. What did you like about Daisy as like a cheese stew?
She was amazing. I mean, she just knows her job so well and does it very well. And she's not like a micromanager either, so she would tell us like what needed to be done or help us or show us the way, but then kind of let us go and do our thing. And yeah, she was really great.
So when you're in yachting, like not on the show, you're just kind of like doing like day charters and stuff like that?
So here in San Diego, there's really not like the super yachting, like days on end. So here it's more like people just book it out for the day, or if there's like big events, there'll still be like chefs on board and you can do whatever you want, but it's just at much less capacity.
So how did you get involved in the show? Like you just kind of sent in your information or did they message you or?
I actually don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, no worries. I just need a drink of water. Sorry, one second.
You're fine.
My mouth is so dry.
I know, I'm like sweating. I don't have like at certain times of the day, it gets so freaking hot in my apartment because there's no AC in Pacific Beach, California, or San Diego.
Why?
Because it's like so nice here that you don't usually need it, but this specific apartment in the evenings, the sun is like right in my living room and it's killer.
That's kind of like Vancouver too, because most of the year it's fine, but then we have like those two like July and August months and it gets like so hot. And so people don't usually get their AC just for those like couple of weeks. So
right.
I know what you mean for sure.
Yeah.
So do you want to be like a reality star? Do you want to be like a movie star or something? Like
I guess it depends on like what opportunities present themselves and what it's for. I wouldn't want to do anything that doesn't like stand for my brand or be a part of anything that isn't like really who I am. But it was fun. Like I did love the whole production side of things. So who knows?
So what would you say like is your brand?
My brand, I think I represent just being who you are, being the best version of you, doing what makes you happy, anything in Southern California. Um, Pretty much that.
Is there anything that you wanted to talk about or say?
Um, I just missed the below deck fam. It was like so fun. Just, I don't know, everyone that like I filmed with and then production, like that was all fun. But then like the people that afterwards, like once this show started airing, everyone that I met just like virtually it's been so cool. So I miss you.
Have you, like, on the other side of that, have you received any of like the negative side of social media? I hear that a lot.
To be honest with you, I haven't. Everyone has been so wonderful. So I mean, yeah, sure, there's been some comments here and there regarding like I guess like the Gary situation or whatever, but for the most part, no, it's been pretty great.
Yeah, because there's like a lot of like backlash towards Ashley. So I thought maybe you might have been mixed in with that or whatever.
No, I guess I dodged that bullet.
And you don't watch like Below Deck at all?
Mm,
No?
I don't. I just don't. I don't watch anything. I mean, I love the show, but yeah, I just like haven't really had any time.
So what do you like to do in your spare time? Like work out and
Yeah, I like to work out. I like to be with my friends, just out and about. I like to work on my brand. I feel like that's what I do pretty much in all of my spare time. And then just anything that has to do with the beach or the water. I love to travel. So anytime I get the chance to travel, I'm always taking that opportunity.
what's your favorite place to travel to?
Mm. Favorite place I've been? I love any island. I love Hawaii. I love Ibiza was fun, but I'm going to Bali in October for a couple weeks, and I feel like that will take the cake.
Yeah, Bali sounds nice. I really like Cuba, but I feel like that's so just boring, probably to somebody who goes to all these cool places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't say I've been to Cuba.
No? What about Mexico? Have you ever been to Mexico?
I have been to Mexico. I love Mexico too, and it's just like right below me here, so it's an easy flight.
So just a couple more questions here that I have for you about the show.
So
Do you think that things would have played out differently if you would have joined the season like at the beginning, or do you think you guys would just pretty much be the same?
yeah, I mean, I definitely think it would have been different. We would have all gotten to kind of, form as a team at the same time. And so honestly, I think we would have crushed it the entire season. I think we would have been really strong. I don't think that there would have been, which who knows what would have happened, but I don't think there would have been like the tension between Ashley and I. And I think that, just closer as a team in general.
Do you think like you and Gabby would have been friends?
Um, yeah, well, we wouldn't have worked together because there wouldn't have been that many stews. In general, yeah.
Yeah. Can I see your tattoo? You have like an arm piece?
It's a dahlia flower, and then on this side I have a little, I don't know if you can see it, it's like a little sailboat.
Did you get that for the show?
No, I got it, gosh, probably like several months before like any below deck things had even come about. I just gotten it because like I kind of think of tattoos as little bookmarks, and like where I was in my life right then, I was just like always on a boat here in San Diego, and I was just so happy and on such a high. And so I got like a little sailboat as just like a stamp of that moment in my life. And then next thing I'm going on like sailing yacht. I was like, that's pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, because it totally looks like you got it for the sailing yacht for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Have you met anybody from any other below deck franchises?
I've talked to several people just like via Instagram, but I haven't like met anybody in person.
I don't know, like I feel like if I went on reality TV, I would feel weird because I would be like, do I have to like act like myself or do I have to like put on a show? Do you know what I mean? Did you ever feel like that? Like,
Totally. So like I wanted to just come off as Scarlett and I just wanted to be myself. And then when I got there and everything just like was chaotic, I almost didn't remember a lot of the way that I handled certain situations or like what really happened was like blurry to me. And so when I got back and was waiting like, for the show to come out, I was like, oh my God, like I was so nervous to see it because I was afraid that like there were times where I was just too nervous and I wasn't myself. And then I was so happy watching it because I was like, okay, like I was 100% myself. I think, I was like in fight or flight mode sometimes, but it was still just like naturally me. So you are who you are.
it's so true. You must have felt like the most nervous walking down the yacht to like,
Yeah.
or not the yacht, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Prior to like right when I was about to start walking, I was just like, what do I do? And then also I feel like I went in at like a random time, like everyone was just like in their bunks, like sleeping, taking naps, like waiting to go out that night. And then it's like my first day there, I get there, put my stuff away, and then we like go out and party. But I honestly was so happy that that's the way it played out. So I got to meet everyone on like loose terms and just, it was a good intro.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot better than just arriving and then like going right into the work. Like,
Yeah, I think that would have sent me overboard.
was there anybody that you thought were going to be one way, but then they turned out like a different way?
Um,
Because you,
Not while I was there. Watching it back, things were different than I thought for sure. But while I was there, no. I mean, I like I said, I went into it so open-minded. I really didn't have expectations for anyone or, the way that anything would turn out. So
I think that's like the best way to go into it, so you don't like overthink.
totally. I feel like that's the best way to go into anything, just no expectations because you never know. And usually it turns out better than you think.
That's so true. May I ask how old you are? Or
I am 26.
26. Okay.
I'll be 27 in October, and I'm scared. I just want to stay like 26 forever. I feel like that's old.
I know that's so true. I'm 32, but on all of my like Tinder and everything, it's 29.
I'm never going past it.
I'll never be more
Great.
than 29.
Oh my gosh.
Was there ever, this is a good one. Was there ever a chance that you and Gary were going to like be together after the show?
Um, there were conversations. I think I was so like wrapped up in the moment that probably these conversations were very unrealistic and it was, I don't know. I mean, that would have never been a realistic thing, but we had conversations about it.
And like the behind the scenes people, always wonder like, what if you think like the cameraman is like super hot? You can't like can't like hit on him, right?
No.
No. Because like Malia from Med, she ended up dating, I forget what they call it, engineer.
And wait, like what happened?
So she thought he was hot, and then they ended up like actually getting together.
I mean, I guess after the show, you can do whatever you want.
I always ask people that I have from Below Deck or any reality show. So when you're going on the show, Katie Flood from Med, she said that when she got on the boat, she like sat down and then the producers gave them like a crash course of like you can't say stuff like this. You can't do this, you can't do that.
I got nothing was said to me. I literally got to Spain and was just like thrown on the boat. That's it. So yeah, that definitely didn't happen with me.
Is there any like perks that you get from being on the show? Like if you go to a club, do they like let you in? That kind of thing?
I mean, yeah, I definitely think it helps in a lot of social aspects.
Yeah. Can you think of one specifically?
I can't think of anything specifically, but there's been several instances since being on that have helped me out.
And because you do like day charters when you're on a yacht outside of below deck, are you more like a stew on deck than you are a stew, or are you just basically doing interior?
Yeah, I'll do it all. Kind of depends on the charter. More mainly just like being with the guests.
And if they asked you to go back, would you go?
I would, yeah. It was so much fun. And I think like round two would just be that much better, because you kind of like get it.
Yeah. And I feel like they don't bring enough people back.
Yeah.
They usually bring back like the cheese stew.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Have you ever got the urge to like go and watch all of the below decks because you were on it, or?
I haven't. I just, I don't know.
It would take you forever because there's like a million.
Forever. And I just like, I would much rather be out I'd rather be on a boat than like watching TV, so.
Yeah, so true. Oh, Scarlett. Oh, God. I started a podcast because like my Instagram was popping off, but like being like an internet personality, like I feel like it doesn't come that naturally to me, and sometimes it's easier than other times, and sometimes like I just feel like I'm not doing a good job, so sorry about that.
No, totally. And I totally feel you. So I started a podcast as well, and it's like, I mean, it's a lot more challenging than you would think, so I get it. And yeah, sometimes it's just like you're on it, and other times you're different.
Yeah, like, do you have a production company with yours? Like, do you have people that help you at all? Or
No, so I literally am doing everything myself. So I rented an office space, and I just like have my camera set up, and then my mics, everything. And I do all the editing, all the audio, everything. So it's a lot that goes into it, but it's something that, I mean, I just love people, and like I said, branding and all of that in general. So it's something I'm passionate about. It's fun.
yeah, that's so true. I know I get to connect with people from New Zealand. I've connected people like Australia and Z from South Africa. And it's like, it's pretty chill.
Wait, so before the podcast, you just had a below deck Instagram?
Yeah, I just had the Instagram, and I started it when the pandemic happened. And then it just like, I was like 100 followers, 200, like 800. And I was just like, whoa, like that's so crazy. And it just started as a joke kind of, right? And now I like literally have to keep up with it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
do you want social media to be like a full-time thing for you?
I think like, yeah, like I think that would be cool for sure.
Yeah.
But it's so hard because I'm like James, but behind below deck, right? Like it's not like my personality on the Instagram. So
right.
That's what I was trying to like get with the podcast, was just trying to inject myself a little bit into it.
Yeah. Good. Well, just keep putting yourself out there and really like let your personality be shown,
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I want to take advantage of having you, but I can't think of anything else.
Hmm.
It's hard because you're not on the show. I mean, not on the show. You don't watch the show, and
Yeah, true.
and I really like to get like the behind the scenes stuff when I ask people. But I feel like you're like real like respectful towards the Bravo.
Well, does a third party usually tune in?
Yeah, if the season's airing, then they tune in. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm open to talking about it, but I just don't know what I'm allowed to talk about or if they would like, would I get like
Yeah.
sued?
I don't think so, but like obviously I don't want to get anybody in trouble or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
not that important, but I don't know. I think we got some good stuff. Like yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on my podcast. It was really nice meeting you.
Well,
And maybe
for
we
having
can do this again sometime.
Yes, let's do it.
So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. This is Pop Off with James, episode 10. We have Scarlett Bentley, and you can follow me at Pop Off with James, at It's James Pike, or at Below Deck Above Average. And then where can we find you?
You can find me Instagram. It's at Scarlett Bentley, and then I have at the SoCal Social, and that's pretty much it. I miss all of you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no worries. Do you have any businesses you want to plug or?
So the Instagram is my marketing business. So it's at the SoCal Social, my marketing agency. And then if you want to watch my podcast, it's on YouTube, just SoCal Social.
Awesome. And what kind of podcast is that?
Like local entrepreneurs and business owners kind of telling about like their leap of faith and how they, started a successful company and just giving like the tips and tricks, daily habits, life hacks, all of the above. So it's fun.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I'll check it out for sure.
Yay.
Yay. Well, thank you again. And yeah, it was very nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you. Have the best day.
Thank you for tuning in. If you want to watch the video version, it's on YouTube at Pop Off with James. Subscribe, like, and share this with your friends. And go check out another episode. We have Heather Chase, we have Katie Flood, we have Chef Ryan, we have Benny, we have everyone.